Jaina Bosonko, and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studio on Caraba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. And now, here are the main local and sports news headlines. The Food Safety and Quality Authority embarked on a day-long caravan to markets to promote food hygiene in support of World Food Safety Day. The Kanifing Municipal Council officially opened its new ultra-modern chamber on Thursday, which will be used for general council meetings. Still within KMC, but in a different context, an appeal has been made for the public not to attack fire officers who are responding to emergencies. The appeal comes following an incident at Joshua. And in sports news, the Electoral Committee for the Gambia Football Federation's upcoming elections say they will be fair in conducting the GFF election scheduled for August 2022. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us. I am Jaina Bosonko and you're watching QTV News. Now, the Director General of the Food Safety and Quality Authority, Mamadou Ba, on Thursday called for more compliance to good hygiene practices. He was speaking at an end of a day-long caravan organized by the authority in commemoration of World Food Safety Day. And Sumane Sonyasi has the rest of that.
The theme for this year's commemoration is Safer Food, Better Health. Celebrated on the 7th of June each year, World Food Safety Day has been earmarked to amplify calls for production and consumption of healthy food and to encourage good hygiene practice. At the forefront of this national commemoration is the Food Safety and Quality Authority. They have organized a series of activities in celebration of the day, including this day-long carnival and market vendor sensitization. Supported by undoubtedly the best music comedy group in the country, Bright Stars, who are very popular amongst young people for their activism and entertaining educational projects. Director General of the FSQA, Mamadou Ba, says the day is significant as it serves as a reminder for all of us to embrace and promote good hygiene practice.
And today we are doing this caravan because so that we can reach out the public and make them part and parcel of this World Food Safety Day to raise awareness on food safety.
Meanwhile, he also urges the public to support the authority in their work, especially in reporting street food vendors selling expired products.
Because if you look at most of the food safety issues related to hygiene, related to standards, related to food control, is mostly happening within the street food vendors, and most of the risks are associated to the street food vendors, because they are very difficult to monitor, they are very difficult to control.
Lalia Jawara, Principal Scientific Officer of the FSQA, explained some of the activities the authority is embarking on in commemoration of this year's World Food Safety Day celebration.
And today we're in the market, we're promoting hygiene, good hygienic practices, because hygiene is a problem and it's key. Now, Codex Alimentarius is very significant. Gambia is an advisor to the Codex CC Africa block, and it's a big deal. So we're using this platform to promote hygiene.
Lalia, who is also the Codex contact point manager, implores the public to be mindful at all times about the food they consume.
You deal with it safely, you eat it safe, you get a safe outcome. That's what we have. Leka bi dafa wara set sela te suñ amé lolu dinañ am katan.
Led by food safety inspection officers, FSQA officials in the company of the Bright Stars Entertainment Group engaged food vendors at the Tipa Garage, Serekunda Markets and Albert Market in Banjul. They advised them to always maintain good hygiene practices and distributed brochures to them. Foodborne diseases are said to affect 1 in 10 people worldwide each year. Therefore, safe food is essential to human health and well-being and is one of the most critical guarantors for good health. The benefits of safe food include improved nutrition and reduce absenteeism in schools and in the workplace. Ansmane Sonyasi for KTV News.
The Kanifing Municipal Council officially opened its ultra-modern chamber on Thursday, which will be used for general council meetings. Alongside the event, during the first meeting at the new chamber, a check for $3.8 million was presented for allocation to the ward development councils of the KMC. Mamadou Lamin Choi was there and fastened this report.
The Kanifing Municipal Council officially opens its new ultra-modern chamber with what is its first general meeting of councillors at the new venue. The recently completed chamber is part of the KMC's new office complex that was inaugurated in March. The chamber is equipped with modern facilities that makes it an ideal meeting venue for the council. The KMC Mayor, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, chairs the council's general meeting, during which the chamber is officially opened. He calls the chamber the People's Chamber.
To the people of KM who are watching, some represented here, special thank you. You are our masters and we are here to serve you, and this is your chamber.
The Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Kanifing Municipal Council, Kajali Jane, pays tribute to the leadership of the KMC, including the General Council and management, for their support to attain this development.
We are here to deliver services in the best way possible. So your duties, your obligation, by paying your tax, by paying your license, your duties will be replicated back to you in the form of services.
As it is a taxpayer-funded project, there are expectations that the chamber will be used as a platform for representing the voice of KM residents who look forward to quality service delivery. Representing the Minister of Lands and Local Government, George Nyuki, describes the event as an illustrious day and gives some advice to the council.
The world is changing, and so are the challenges becoming complex. So which means if you are doing 100 before, you are expected to do 150. So like I said, the people of KM, councillors of KM have never failed before. So we do not expect you to fail.
Former KMC councillors who are now National Assembly members attended the occasion. One of them, the National Assembly member of Bununka Kunda, Suleiman Jame, who is also current chair of the Assembly Select Committee of Lands and Regional Government, appeals for an innovative approach to development and for other councils to align themselves with such a development as registered by the KM.
It's through this partnership and collaboration today we are able to have this thing. And I want to encourage and appeal to all councils to foster that and strengthen that so that we can definitely develop our country.
During the council's general meeting, the chair of the KM Council's Finance and Revenue Committee presents a check for $3.8 million to the Lord Mayor as a subvention for the operations and management of the day-to-day ward activities. This includes projects such as the provisions of community street lighting, access to water, support to disaster victims, health facilities, youth and sports, and other development concerns. Each of the 19 ward development committees will be allocated $200,000 from the $3.8 million development fund. The total disbursed since 2020 amounts to $11.4 million. The council's meeting also witnessed the decoration of KMC's police officer, Sene Sanyang, from ASP to Deputy Commissioner of Operations. His promotion is hailed as a deserving one, given his commitment and dedication to service for the municipality. Mahmoud Lamin Choy, QTV News.
Looking forward to the Ward Development Council funds implementation in different councils, in different wards rather. So now we're still within KMC, but in a different context, as authorities in the Kanifing municipality on Wednesday urged the public to stop being hostile to fire department officers, especially when they are responding to an emergency. The plea comes in the wake of an attack on Tuesday on rescue officers who were responding to a fire incident in New Joshua. And Sumane Esonyasi has the rest of that story.
The incident left several officers injured, and visible marks of the impact of the stones pelted at the fire service truck can be seen on the truck. The officers are said to have received a hostile reception from angry youths of a neighborhood in New Joshua when they responded to a call to deal with a fire incident. The incident has left authorities in the region concerned, especially the fire department, for the safety of their officers and even victims of fire incidents during emergencies. Pate Jiba, spokesperson of the Fire and Rescue Service, and Samba Jacob Jaju, Assistant Commissioner for Kanifing and West Coast regions, implored the public to support and not vilify their officers, adding that vandalizing rescue appliances is not in the collective public interest.
We from the fire department, on behalf of the Chief Fire Officer and the entire management and staff of the fire department, would like to seize this opportunity to kindly condemn this act or the repetition of this form of behavior, because it is not telling well about our country. We are a peace-loving nation, and we are a nation that is called friendly and smiling faces. Fire engines that come to the Gambia are a sole donation from our Avon counterparts. And it will be very disheartening and sad from their end to understand that the donated materials to the Gambia, free of charge, are being vandalized by Gambians themselves, just in the interest of some few personalities.
And within KMC, we all see some of the streets are very narrow. During the rain season, the roads are not also very friendly. Some, you'll go at a point and you see some, pouring sand, heaps of sand. So you have to maneuver. Even yesterday when we went there to, visit the police, nearest police station, we find it difficult to, go through the route because of the tightness of the roads.
Binta Jane Jallow, Deputy Mayor of KMC, and Habib Emel Sise, Ward Councillor for New Joswan Ward, expressed sadness over the incident and called on residents of the area to desist from such behavior.
What had happened yesterday is not a very good sign from the community. What they did is wrong, because the fire service are here to save the life of this municipality and to protect our properties. They are not our enemies. They are here to guide us. If at all they call fire services and they are late to respond, they must know why before they respond, or they should leave them to do their duties. Then after, they come together and address issues.
We regretted what happened yesterday, and we apologize on behalf of the community, because it should not have been happened. The firefighters are very vital in the development of this country and this municipality. So we apologize on behalf of the community, on behalf of the family, the victim, and we assure the fire rescue service these things will not happen again.
While elders from the neighborhood, who were represented by Bakari Kanyi, Ward Development Secretary, and Bunja Baji, a resident of New Joswan, apologized to the Fire and Rescue Service on behalf of the community and promised to engage youths in the area to avoid a repeat of Tuesday's ugly scene. Police Regional Commissioner Dabo warns that such behavior will not be condoned. The Fire and Rescue Service, though constrained by resources, remains an important public institution. Thus, the need for the public to support and encourage them. And with frequent reports of fire incidents, its presence is needed now more than ever. Ansumane Sonyasi for KTV News.
From that story from Ansumane Sonyasi, we will now go for a short commercial break. And when we come back, we have some more local news stories for you as well as sports. Do stay tuned.
As the fastest growing GSM company in the Gambia, QCell has the widest 4G plus coverage in the country, 3 times faster internet speed than our competitors. So switch now and dial *335# and enjoy what true 4G feels like. QCell, Gambia's trusted network.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Jenna Posonko. Now, as part of their mandate to provide services for the people of West Coast region, the management of Birkama Area Council signed 3 contract agreements on Wednesday for the construction of an open shared market at the New Yundum Market, toilet facilities at the Farato Health Center, and Bruceby Phase 1 respectively. Omar Pijalo attended the signing ceremony and filed in this report.
The New Yundum Market Set contract is awarded to Panasit Building and Design Enterprise, the Farato Health Center toilet facility to Lankara Mosware, and Bruceby Phase 1 toilet facility to Signal Company Limited. The contractors are expected to finish the construction of the facilities within 4 months of today's date. The project's worth more than $2.1 million. At the ceremony, the chairman and CEO of Brikama Area Council, Sirifo Sonko and Modu Jonga respectively, both emphasizes Brikama Area Council's commitment to fulfilling their promises to deliver services to their residents. However, they appeal to residents of West Coast region to continue paying their taxes on time to enable the council to deliver the needed services.
Brikama Area Council is only experiencing less than 40% of the total revenue of the whole region. People are not willing to pay their taxes. And we cannot be able to plow back the 60% without experiencing what we're supposed to get from the community.
The funds for the implementation of this important project is provided by government as a grant, and we want to commend the Line Ministry for the facilitation. This project, when completed, will help improve living standards by reducing poverty levels as business and other activities, economic activities, will continue to flourish.
The Deputy Governor of West Coast Region, Musa Suso, applauded Brikama Area Council for the initiative and encouraged them to continue delivering services in line with the wishes and aspirations of the people.
Please be reminded that a lot has to be done, a lot has to be fulfilled, a lot and a very significant concerns has to be redressed. Hence, continue encouraging your team to address and bring more development to this locality, even though your council has achieved and done a lot.
David Gomez, the Director of Governance at the Ministry of Local Governments and Lands, urges the contractors to deliver quality and timely works.
The council and the beneficiaries, in particular, look forward to the timely completion of these projects to ensure that they are not only completed on time, but they are to the best standards that we all expect from you.
On behalf of the contractors, Lawrence B. Mendy, the CEO of Panacea Building and Design Enterprise, applauded Brikama Area Council for choosing their companies for the projects and gave assurance of timely completion of the projects.
As young Gambians, young contractors, we've worked in different places and want to prove to the council and to the government entirely that we are equal to the task.
Other speakers included Usman Bojang, the Alcala of New Yundum, and Keba Kinte, the officer in charge of the Farato Health Center. The signing ceremony was held at the Brikama Area Council premises and was attended by Brikama Area Council management, ward councillors, contractors, Ministry of Local Government officials, the Deputy Governor of West Coast Region, the media, members from the beneficiary communities and other local stakeholders. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
Good move there. Now, the management and staff of the Gambia Radio and Television Services, GRTS, on Saturday celebrated the 60th anniversary of Radio Gambia as a national broadcaster since its establishment by the former colonial administration. Omar P. Jallo attended the celebration and fastened this report.
Radio Gambia came into existence on the 1st of May 1962 and began broadcasting at Telegraph Road in Batos, now Banjul. Upon the construction of the studios, the radio relocated to Mile 7 in Bakau. The new complex was inaugurated by the former Nigerian leader, General Yakubu Gowon, on the 18th February 1971, the Gambia's 6th independent anniversary. In his welcoming remarks, the Deputy Director General of GRTS, Abdullah Gassama, said GRTS is known for fostering cohesion and contributing to the socio-economic development of the country through their uninterrupted broadcasting services.
Radio Gambia is the center of Islam and Christian programs. So I say to you all, welcome to the House of Religious Affairs.
Malik Jeng, the Director General of GRTS, said the newsroom at Radio Gambia has become a reputable school of journalism, which over the years has trained most of the best journalists and news writers in the country.
The likes of Peter Gomez of West Coast Radio, Ibrahim G. Sankare, currently the government spokesman, the late Edmond Thomas, Lawyer Lamin Dabo of Dabanani, Mr. Amadou Skaterjane, Mr. Musa Silla, currently working with the Islamic Development Bank, and Mr. Madi Jubate of Tango.
The chairperson of the GRTS Board of Directors, Fatou Jeng Senghor, blamed the slow development of Radio Gambia on the then political situation and called for the modernization of the public broadcaster to transform into a more efficient and truly public service broadcaster that will respond to the need of Gambians in their diversity.
The GRTS institutional culture be reviewed, that we continue on the path of restructuring the institution, ensure its equipment responds to the needs of modern broadcaster, and its program are of quality and in line with the expectations of Gambians in their diversity.
The Minister of Information, Lamin Queen Jame, called on the private sector to support GRTS through partnership and advertisement. He gave an assurance of his ministry's support to GRTS in their desire to achieve nationwide coverage.
GRTS has recently taken some important strides in its efforts to satisfy its esteemed audience. The live coverage of the recent football match in Chess, Senegal, between the Scorpions of the Gambia and a team from South Sudan, and the coverage of the Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Cameroon last January are solid examples.
The guest speaker of the occasion, Nene Magdol Gay, a former Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Gambia, said over the past 60 years, Radio Gambia has been a great medium to create awareness and promote understanding, unity and goodwill, through news and diverse programs produced in the major local languages spoken in the country.
Because it is cost-effective, almost everyone can afford a radio set, and because the sets are portable, one can take them anywhere, hence the far outreach. Even isolated areas, by virtue of location, are brought into contact with the rest of the nation.
Hadi Baji, the director of radio programs at GRTS, said Radio Gambia is committed to remaining relevant and impactful on the socio-economic lives of its esteemed listeners.
You will agree with me that this long successful existence in transition could only happen or could have been possible thanks to the selfless dedication, first the staff, the support given by the different governments, and more importantly, our loyal audience.
Saturday's event was attended by cabinet ministers, National Assembly members, politicians, the diplomatic corps, service chiefs and former and current staff of the institution, as well as representatives of other broadcasters. The celebration was also characterized by cultural performances and screening of documentaries on Radio Gambia, the story of the Gambia's first broadcasting station, and Radio Gambia through the ages. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
Now, happy anniversary to the management and staff of GRTS Radio. Now, up next, let's take a look at what is happening in the world of sports. The Electoral Committee for the Gambia Football Federation's upcoming elections say they will be fair in conducting the GFF election scheduled for August 2022. Members of the committee made this revelation at a press briefing at the GFF on Thursday. Our sports reporter Mamadou Gajaga attended and filed this report.
Election preparations are underway. The applications and voting window, candidate verification and eligibility requirements, amongst other matters, were addressed during the briefing. The GFF Electoral Committee Vice Chairperson, Sekou Bijaju, gave an overview of the election window.
The final list of qualified candidates will be published on Saturday, 13th August 2022. The election date is set for Saturday, 27th August 2022, commencing 10 a.m. prompt. The venue for the election will be decided later and the public will be informed accordingly.
According to the Electoral Committee, each candidate will go through eligibility test, a criteria used before candidates contest the election. The Vice Chairperson of the Electoral Committee says having a criminal conviction is one of the things that will disqualify a candidate from contesting.
I don't think it is in the interest of the General Assembly that a convicted person or anybody of such a character to be heading GFF or any other department within GFF. So those are things that there are a number of them, and then one of the most important I cited is when you have a criminal record of that, convicted also.
On the issue of fair play and transparency, Lamin Jasseh, current General Secretary of the Gambia Football Federation, who is also the Secretary to the Electoral Committee, has had his position questioned by one of the aspiring candidates, Sadibu Kamaso. Kamaso points to Jasseh's post as Secretary General of the football body and his role on the electoral body Jassy was therefore asked about these roles and whether he will be able to be fair in the execution of his duties.
I'm secretary to the executive committee. I don't vote in the executive committee. I don't contribute in their decisions. The role I am serving in those committees is the same role that I'm serving here, consultation. If there are things that, for example, right now, if they need an information on a particular issue, I go and get those information for them. And also, let me tell you that this electoral code, even though it's been passed by the AGM, but all instruments of the Gambia Football Federation also must have to go to FIFA and CAF, because if these rules are contrary to the status of FIFA and CAF, they won't pass.
The GFF election will be conducted in 2 months' time, and so far, Olisadibu Kamaso has publicly declared his intention to contest against incumbent Lamin Kaba Bajo, who is expected to seek re-election for the second time. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
From that story by Mamudu Gajaga, I'm afraid we have to wrap it up here. But don't forget to join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.